polo. I will immediately start with questions. So, Ratko Rudic, I don't need to mention all the successes and importance of his contribution to water polo. So I'll start with first question, starting with 1984, with first golden Olympic medal with Yugoslavia, and going to 2012 with Croatia, 40 years of water polo. What can you say about the evolution of water polo? What can you say about the changes and everything you need simply to say?
Okay, thank you. Thanks for the... Can you hear me, yeah? So I want to congratulate to the Croatian water polo team for the silver medal. And I want to say that this is one spectacular sport achievement, because the national team won in the 8 months, the second place on the European Championships, first place on the World Championships, and now second place in the Olympic Games. And maybe that was because of the calendar and of the COVID. And maybe never in the future will be occasion to won all these trophies in the 8 months or in 1 year. So it's a really something special. Okay, the question is that the referees and the rules define the game. So rules permit to play on some specific way. And then we can say that some changes of the rules, the players and the coaches, they adapt very quick the rules. They can use these rules quite immediately. We can say that all the changes, because there is some reason we want to have for example, the game more swimming, the game more horizontal, or the game more vertical. We call this some parameter of the games, vertical and the swimming. But we need to have more attractive game. That was the main rules, main reason. So not always the rules bring the positive effect. So quite always they come back on the beginning. So bring some positive, then come back on the beginning. Then I stop with the rules. So in the Olympic Games, Los Angeles, we play with one special rules. For example, everybody knows it's with 3 fouls on the center forward is exclusion. So we play one system of the changing the players on the center for one triangle of the wing and the defender and outside players. They change. So who use better this kind of the small tactical element? It's playing better in defense. Then we have to say that we start the Los Angeles team with a new team. I was the first time coach, and we don't have any history behind us. So we are playing. We are playing to win, and I always were playing to win, and there is no calculation in anything. So also when we arrived on the 3-goal behind the USA, we always believe that we will arrive on the tie, and then that we can win the Olympic Games. So how it's going? Then we have some changing was used. Maybe one of the changing, if I remember good, it's after 86 was a 30-second. Here was a 45-second. 45.
45 to 35.
35. So 35, So it's a 10-second less, and it was a 35 also exclusion time. So you know how the coaches used to, but when we talk about the rules, some of the rules, for example, I have some dates from Yanis Yanouris, who make the work about this. For example, the contact game, which is now the biggest problem of the water polo, is not resolved and is the same as 132 years ago. So first rule that was made by the England and the British, now is the same as here is the push to the, well, the same is written, completely the same. So there is some of the rules, also the quantity rules, where is size of the field, size of the goal, size of the ball, the time of the play. So this is always the same. It is not the problem. But the contact is the problem, because in other sport, the contact is written in the 10 pages. So now, so we adapt as a players and the coach on the contact and on everything else. So we adapt on the changing of the rules. Also, we have from 84, 86, 88. It's always a little bit changing the rules. Also, this game against Italy, 86, after so many overtime, they changed. Now there is, at that time was 2 times 3 minutes, and now it's not, also it's not that. Okay, I will finish, not to be too long.
Thank you. I'm honored to having met Denis today, and I think there are many things we can say about you, but there is one curiosity. Everything mentions everything in essays writing about water polo. You have this curiosity of winning 3 times in a row Olympic golden medal, 2000, 2004, 2008, and it's a curiosity in the world of sports. So maintaining on one side the quality and the other side the passion and conditions and relationship, what can you say about it? What is the secret?
First of all, I wish to say hello all the audience. Thank you very much for being here. It's an honor for us, for me. And I wish to say something about Ratko said about the rules. I think the future should be that we have to find a way that we protect the talents of the water polo, because we need talents, we need to sell our product, which is the game. And if with these rules the defense can destroy the talents, then we will lose all the audience. About the team, I started to work within '97. I had an idea. First of all, we were talking about with Perica after Florence final, that they lost the final because they wanted a medal. We won the final because we arrived to Florence to win the gold medal. So the first thing was that my target was gold medal in Sydney, and all my players agreed. Then I told them that Italy and other teams, they work 7 hours a day, so we will work 7 hours a day, and they disagree about 7 hours working a day. So they agreed the target, they disagree the way. But anyway, if we want to be equal or maybe better than the opposite teams, we have to work as much as they did. So about winning 3 in a row, same team or almost the same team and the same coach is like a marriage. It's difficult. The honeymoon is okay, but then to keep it strong longer and longer, it's always more difficult. And my difficulty to arrive in 12 years to the third, that 6 of the players were the same. That was more problem than to give new arrivals the chance to play and to make them motivated, that they realize that even a winning team can be changed. The roster of the winning team can be changed. When they realize it, even the Olympic gold medalist player is motivated to maintain his position in the team. So It's as I told before, it's like a marriage. It's a game between the players and the coach that they become expert as they have a gold medal at home. So they start to know everything better than the coach. But the coach have to lead. Otherwise, if you don't have a leader, then you don't win anything. So this was the difficulty. This was the help. I always could put 4 new players in the 13, which gave some new responsibility of the 9 players to help these 4 new players to have a gold medal again. Again for them, and the first time for those. And this was, I think, the key how to arrive in 12 years, always motivated and always ready to use maybe the mistake of the opposite teams, like losing Serbia against USA. We didn't lose against USA in the final. They lost against them as they were the favorite in the semifinal. We were ready to do our maximum. And anyway, I think that this was difficult, but fortunately we could do that.
The silver medal of Dutch women water polo team. So yes, I'm very glad we're going to talk about women. What can you say, the raise of the importance of the game and actually the support of women water polo is obvious. What can you say about water polo, women water polo? As we can see, it's Olympic Games only from 2000. And I'm following women water polo in Croatia, so I come from time to time to matches, and they really have not great, obvious support. And what you can say about the game itself and the future? What should be done to be like a bigger raise and bigger support and opportunities?
Hello. Firstly, thank you very much for having me here. A big honor, big responsibility. Great seeing all these legends sitting next to me and there. Your question is, I need a lot of hours to analyze it, but I will try to make it, give a short version. Definitely the women water polo. Let's start with the fact that the women water polo is a new sport. This is a new sport. Don't try to compare the women water polo with the water polo. The women water polo, as you said, exists since 2000. Since 2000, the moment when the sport became Olympic. And this gave a lot of power to the people to help and develop the sport. Apparently, the sport last years, as we saw last month, became much faster. The players became really stronger. And don't underestimate the fact that the determination and the work ethic of women sporters, in our case, water polo players, it's something uncomparable. It's incredible the way the women work and try day by day to develop. So, as you said, it's about the game, but there is also one, as I said, the game getting better, the game is more attractive. We try to get things, to steal things from the men water polo. That has to do a lot with the one-on-one fights in the game. We try to get more aggressive. But there is also another dimension, which is actually, in my opinion, even more important. And this has to do with what happens outside the water. And we are talking about the social impact of the sport. And again, I will repeat it, I think that this is even bigger than the game. The sport is even bigger than the game, and the way that the role models of the women of water polo last years, and the leaders, the coaches. We saw for the first time ever 2 women coaches leading their groups in Paris. The way that the women try to inspire and connect the society is even bigger than the game. And about the future, yeah, what the future brings, I think we are very satisfied from what we saw in Paris. We saw games from the quarterfinal in front of 15,000 people watching women water polo, something that we couldn't believe could happen some years ago. So we expect to get even bigger and bigger.
Thank you. Thank you. This is a very, your personal view is, I agree completely, and I must say that everybody should agree about the social impact, and this is really very important. And thank you for the answer. Dejan Savic, as important player career as coach career, so you stopped 2010, 2011 playing, and then 2012 you took the national team. Is it right? Yeah. Okay, yeah. And
Hello to everyone.
So yes, tell us about, well, differences as a high-rank player, high-rank coach. What can you say?
Dobar dan svima. Hello to everyone. I'm a little bit nervous because Pavic is here. So, sorry about my English. First of all, I wanted to tell something a little bit wide, because Ratko and Denis, they start to speak about rules and everything. So if we are going a little bit back in the history, so in the Olympic Games of the Moscow, where was last time 11 players until now, 2024, so that is 44 years. So the water polo changed minimum 10 or 12 times. But because I'm okay, young coach here, and I must ask them, is when they're changing the rules, they never ask the coaches. So that is a problem, because I want to use this panel for something else, and especially nobody asks the players how they are feeling, because we spoke about in last 8 months 3 big competition, and nobody asked them how they are feeling. So I think Peronne will explain everything. So let's turn back on the question. I'm very happy because I'm here. And the question was my sports career like a player and like a coach. So I must tell that in the December of '89, first time I was playing for the first team of Partizan in the Greece. It was some Christmas tournament, and the coach of Partizan was Ratko. So he burned me out in this sport, and he put me in the fire with a 14 years old kid. So that was love on the first sight, and everything's after that was I can say easy, because my generation grew up on the players who won the gold medal in Los Angeles '84, and especially players who won '88. And we grow up on the stories from that 5 months of preparation, because the final game in Seoul, it was the 2nd of October '88. So they had 5 months of incredible preparation with this guy here. So we grow up with that. When they're swimming, I don't know, 12 kilometers or 16, they are vomiting and they're back to playing water polo or something like that. So for us, everything was much easier, because, oh my God, if they gone through that some kind of heaviness, so we can for us it could be very, very easy. So we had a big preparation with our coach to play against big the biggest team of Hungary. So it was always, okay, if they won the gold, we can make the same, you know, because you must go through the, okay, patient, but very tough work. So that is. So I finished my career before 40 kilos. And I knew it in '96, after the Olympic Games in Atlanta, that I want to be a coach. So I had lots of books and lots of, you know, these notes. And I had a big luck, because I was working with one of the greatest coaches in my sports career, but I was a teammate of one of the best players in that moment and for now. So I was always asking them for this, where is your legs, why this, why this, why this. So everything it was written. So, and of course, I spoke with the coaches, and I can tell I'm using now some of that notes, but there is notes that can use, because, you know, you must be tougher person that I am now. So that's it. The point of view is different. The point of view is, you know, when you're a player, you're on this level, and you have, you believe in yourself and in your teammates, but you don't know what can you do, especially in the moment of the stress or when the pulse is 180, and that's it. The coach, he is on the other view, and he can realize everything what that player can do best or better, and he must push him. So it is big difference. It's a big difference, but it is very, how to say, I can tell I'm feeling better with the coach, because it is lots of players here, so they will tell, you know, they will say, oh, look at this fat guy, what he is speaking about. So I had a great career, and I want to say one more thing, because of Danish and Hungarian water polo. When I was a kid, my club, Partizan, we had prijateljski, amichevole, on English? Yes. Friendly connection with the School of Water Polo in Budapest, KSC. So it was, you know, 12 years old, 14 years old, and 16 years old players. And it was during the 80s. And after that, okay, we know what's happened on the Balkan and everything. But, for example, in the semi-final game in Sydney against Yugoslavia in that moment, and the future Olympic team, gold medal team, Hungary, of 26 person, it was 17 players from the age of 80s, you know, from the KSC and Partizan. So that is one good information. So after this, I will stop a little.
I talked a lot with Ratko, and I know how important he considers investing in young generations, so I completely agree. So Felipe Peronne, so Dejan introduced you a bit. So you are the player, presenting players, long career, so 2001, now 2024. Yes, and the important thing is that here we have many people part of water polo world, but we are having a streaming, so we want everybody to understand what you are saying, and the importance of water polo issues we want to share with all the audience. So high top rank level player, what are the investments, what are the waivers, what do you renounce? So what can you say, and how do you feel, as Dan said?
Yeah. Thank you very much for to be here. It's really an honor. And yeah, it was a long journey. And I'm feeling a little bit like uncomfortable because there are so many legends here and I'm here, but I think my history is a little bit different because I was born in Brazil. So my perspective of water polo was, I think, always a little bit different. And it's crazy. It's crazy to think how the sport changed. And I think it's our goal as a community to really follow those changes. Talking about the athlete side, one thing that I'm always criticizing is like, I didn't have any social media. I didn't have anything for so many years because it goes totally against my values, my way of see the sport. But the sport is this now. All the sports, they are going to this way, to this path. And I think as athletes, we need to follow this. So I think we could talk about many things about managing, about many things that could change in our sport. But I really think that it's a point that we as a community, we need to move. We need to do things. For example, what is Dejan Savic is doing here. This is that kind of thing that, how many people do this in our sport? And I don't know, maybe it's because so many years and maybe because I was always complaining about the sport and about the things, and now I have the feeling that we really need to do things. And I know that there are a lot of people that are doing many things here, but it's important that we take the initiative on our sport. And I think this is my message. As about the game, it's amazing because I don't have that perception, but when I watch a game from 2006, 2005, and I watch a game now, it's totally, totally different. The game is, the pace of the game is much more faster. It's much more physicality. And, but I think really it happened in all sports that you, like before, the technique, the way that players did the things were more slow, but it was more like easy to see, easy to watch. I think, and this is happening in soccer, this happened in basketball, it happened in all sports. About tactics, it's so fast that you are always changing the tactics. And this is the big change in the game too. Before it was more like control the game, to say like this. And the athletes, it's a huge, huge change. I may be the last generation that grow without YouTube, without any mobile phone. Maybe I'm the last one of this generation because now they have different way of see the game, watch the sports. I remember when I came to here in Croatia, first time to play in Zagreb, it was, you didn't know the players, like, and I arrived in the swimming pool, it was, I guess, Doudesis, and I look at him and say, oh my God, what is this, a monster? And I think this was that things that are changing and it's different, and we really need to adapt and to try to follow those changes because it's our sport, we love our sport, and I think there is no other way. There is no other way to do it. And last thing, the question Dejan asked about the number of games, and which is really a big issue that we talk a lot. I'm a little bit, in my opinion, like it was tough. It was very hard. And this is, of course, because of all this issue of COVID. It was really, really tough. But I always think that we are talking about many games, okay, but we play so many games that there are no interest, that no one is watching. And I think those games doesn't make sense. But for example, we did the European, and thank you, Perica, for that, and in Netherlands, the European that was like on last moment organized, and it was a lot of demand. People was willing to watch those games. So maybe it was too many games, yes, but which games really need to cut off? And this is all the things that we really need to rethink, because it's moving everything so fast that we need to adapt and we need to follow and we need to take the control of decision making in this sport.
Do you personally think that the investment, I asked you at the beginning, should be from all the players to invest in their public image through social media and
Absolutely.
image in general?
Absolutely. I think we have like a Croatia Federation and Hungarian Federation that are doing a great job to, because the kids now, they're not watching TV anymore. They are all with the mobile phone. So it's very important, the image, and the athletes need to follow this. It's a funny story because, as I said, I just have social media last year, and one of our community, our marketing manager from our club, they said, look, Felipe, it's not a problem that you are not doing this. It's the problem that all the kids, they see that you are their idol, you are not doing this, so they don't do this too. So I think that kind of thing we really need to change. This is one few example, but, and of course, it's not just us. It needs to be all the institutions to invest in the sport, but I think we can look into our own responsibility too.
Okay, thank you. So, audience?
May I? Is working, yeah? I apologize to plivački klub Korcula. On the beginning, I made a big mistake. So I forgot to congratulate to team under 12 years old of Korcula that they won the world championships in the June in Lignano Sabbiadoro when they were the better than 90 other teams. So again, great congratulations, and I hope that we will see you also in the next edition. Please applause.
Yes, I mentioned this to everybody. Actually, apologize for not mentioning at the beginning. So, audience, please ask questions. We are here. Everybody's here, actually. Yes. So, microphone is here. So, do you want to join with questions, actually, with things exposed?
Hello. I'm just curious about refereeing and the influence of refereeing in water polo. Can that be a little bit changed? Because it's quite obviously, it's not what I used to experience when I was playing. It's too much influence, and they can actually determine the game, the result. Is it possible to make it, in my opinion, more fair, or how to give less opportunities to influence the result? To the experts, I don't know.
Hello, for the referees. Okay, it's we made until now many attempts to make it better, the refereeing. And on the beginning, you know, everything functioned quite well, but then after the time, you know, everything come back, and it was the same water polo again. So what we can see that the development of the water polo is the same as other sport, or the bad rule with the bad rules or with the good rules. So we will be always faster, we will be stronger, we will have the techniques adapting on these techniques, on these rules. So, you know, our progression is obvious. But I am agree. So what we don't have and I told before. So we don't have explanation on our contact game. So there is absolutely, there is on the referees, they can decide anything they want, anything. And I can tell you now 20 examples, but we will not lose the time about this. So the contacts in the game, it's not resolved in water polo. How it will be resolved? I don't know. I was very active during the last 40 years. We had some meeting about the changing the rules. You know, one of these parameter, how to change rules was put by one American television marketing people who said, no, water polo cannot be longer than 1 hour and 5 minutes. So we will cut 2 timeouts, cut these 5 minutes pause between second and third cut. It is a 3. So everything is to cut. They were not interested in changing the game. No, only to cut this without any reason. And so we were working and we were living in this type. Now I hope so that we have some new leaders in the European aquatics, in the world aquatics, and I really hope that we will we will try to do something to... nemojte pričati. Something to do to prepare the rules, and when we have the big competition, that we can play with the rules that is everybody can understand better. Now, with this rule, nobody understands. The spectator, absolutely, they don't know anything. You know, also these who knows water polo, they don't understand why was this. So, but I will tell you one thing. Even if these rules was not good, always, for my opinion, the best team won. So it was never a situation that one rule was damage one team so much that this team didn't won. We had a lot of mistakes, but this kind of mistakes we didn't have.
My father told me when I started to coach the national team, don't worry about the referees, make a team 4 or 5 goals better than the opposite teams, and then you will win. That's it. Because the water polo is 80% under the water, so we cannot expect the referees refereeing without mistakes. So we have to be better, the goalkeeper have to be better, the shooter have to be better, and then that's it.
Yeah. I'm very happy that you organized this meeting because we know that water polo is not a global sport, but we are a great family. And I'm very glad that we can talk very open and very friendly. Only one goal is to improve the water polo. I have maybe one question. Maybe you don't know, me and Ratko work more than 8 years together. We did many analyzing and many statistics. One of important parameter, it was I called efficiency of center forward. What is mean? How many passing receive center forward and what's happened? How many exclusion or how many goals or how many penalty? In our time, in maybe 18, 19, a very big competition, the big competition like Olympic Games, so a World Championship, European Championship, passing per 1 games, it was maybe between 10 and 12 passing. With efficiency, with 50%, that is mean every second passing, something happened. Maybe score, maybe goal, maybe exclusion. On the final match, on these Olympic Games, do you know how many passing were? One team, only 2 passing. But do you know how many exclusion was without the ball? 9 exclusion. For me, that is mean that is not so good for water polo because there is no action, there is no drive-in, there is no cross in, there is no block like Dejan and Savic did. And the water polo become poorer and poorer. No interesting for the public, especially for TV public. What do you think about it? Maybe it was a better recommendation for the referee. I don't like to speak about the referee. Maybe about recommendation. Question, what do you think, does we need to change something, some new recommendation and to become that water polo become again active and interesting in attack?
Okay. This is a good statistic, but we already knew it. About lots of exclusion on the center forward without balls. So that is about last 8 years. That is one of the question of the rules and the refereeing, because like I said, nobody asking the question, the coaches or especially players. But if we, okay, everybody watched these Olympic Games, my opinion, it was a great tournament with lots of, how to say, it is always about 8 teams who can be on the high level and win the gold, silver or bronze, but this Olympic Games, it was 10, like I said, 10 teams. But the level of the skill was on low level like before. I can agree with the refereeing and everything, but the way of the playing is everybody is you know, from position 1 to 5 to watch what's happened on the center, and everything is extra man and man less, and everybody waiting for the shoot from the foul. So everything must change from the beginning. From the beginning, from the childhood, from the players from 10 or 11. So they must driving, they must be swimming, they must make the cross, everything like we said, because the new generation, they are realize and they're studying this kind of playing. And for the 10 years, it will be worse than now. So that is a problem. And the problem is, okay, the rules are unique, but from federation to federation, you can change it. So, for example, in Serbia, we can play in the championship of 12 or 14, we can change the rules. Why not? But the rules you can and must change in the global way to speak with the others and to see what's happened in the world. So, like I said, this tournament was incredible, but I didn't see the skill anymore. Like you said, Peronne, Felipe, he had incredible driving and everything, and he's doing now. Denis Varga, Leka Ivovic, he didn't play. Okay, but that is the players, you know, with that skills, and we didn't see that. And the problem with the exclusion without ball on the center is I don't know how to resolve that. I don't know, but I think to make skill you must try and start from the kids. And one more thing for the refereeing, I watched parallel, you know, women water polo tournament and the men. In the women, it was a great refereeing. Everything was clear. Exclusion is exclusion, with the ball, without ball, everything. But in the men, until semi-final, it was awful with the VAR and everything, you know.
I totally agree and with Dejan, but I need to add also the fact that one of the reasons of the fact that the women water polo develops this moment, and what I said before that it's a new sport, is the fact that we are not static. The game is not static. It's constantly moving. It's constantly the players move all the time, and they create a lot of space. So the fact that these exclusions, the 9 exclusions without the ball, I would say that for women water polo is a big compliment. It means a lot of action during the game. And one of the reasons also that the women water polo develops this moment and goes like this is the fact that the men water polo stay static.
Dejan Savic, I'm a film director. I spent last 6 years of my life with one of the biggest coaches ever in the world of all sports, and I learned a lot of water polo from 1968 to 2012. One thing which is very important, I think very important, because this is your last time tonight on the bench of the Croatian national team. Dejan Kameny, who knows? Who knows this is good. Dejan Kameny did it before last year. But one thing, I think that's very important, one question. From your position, you have 4 Olympic goals, you have 3 Olympic goals. Something, I don't know that you know what is Olympic gold. What means Olympic gold? What means be the first in all the world, everybody is down. What the question is, from your position, Denis and not Dejan, Dejan will work, Evangelos, they will be in water polo. For your position, what is advice? What is formula for the future of the water polo? Because you will stop now, when you stop with interviews, but now I think so that you must say to water polo world, what is your advice and what is the formula for the future for water polo?
Okay, it's what is the value of the gold medal? So the value of the gold medal is not the same in the different countries. So I can say, and he knows that, so in USA, if you won the gold medal in any sport, is the same value as the Nobel Prize. So gold medal, Nobel, so it's not the value of the sport event, it's the social event. So it's something that is going more over the sport. And it's each country, each city, each club, when they have the gold medal, this is something, you know, that they memorize that there is something that is making them much richer, not in sense of the money, but they can have the kids, they can have something, you know, the history. They have the history, and with this history they can prepare the young players. And I want to say one thing. It's so important that Dejan said before a little bit, because he was not satisfied with the technical level on these Olympic Games. And me too. Was not, you know, each Olympic Games brings something new. This not. So what he said? He said that if we are teaching the kids of 10, 12 years old these technical elements that we were not satisfied, so these kids will learn these technical elements worse than these senior players. So remember this, because when you want to organize the program for the young kids, so not to do this kind of the techniques as you saw on the Olympic Games. Okay, so for the Olympic medal, I will say something that, you know, it's nobody talking, but I will say. So it's not correct that when they are making, this classification, how many medal each country won, because if in water polo we win the 13 gold medal, I want to see this 13 as a number of the medals, as the 4 in the swimming, in the was it one. So to be, to calculate all the medal, and also because the Olympic Games start, so at the beginning of the last century, start as an individual competition, and they start as a competition of the athletes. So each athlete, like each water polo player, he got the one medal. So I suggest to start to fighting to count to each medal. So that will be you.
Okay, the value of the Olympic gold medal, I realized a few years ago. In USA, I had a chat with my friend in his house, and he had a guest. And at the end of the chat, an hour later, this guest told me, after realized that my success is as a coach in the Olympics, he didn't congratulate for the gold medals. He said, "This is the first time in my life I have been in the same room with an Olympian, with a person who have been to the Olympics." And he was really impressed by this fact for himself. So I think that the real value of the Olympics, you realize when you finish the 4-year cycle of the Olympics. You are happy for your medal at the Europeans, you are happy for your medal at the Worlds, but then Olympics arrives, then you watch the opening ceremony and you don't know where you are. That's exactly another planet. And then you have to adapt and to play your games that at the end, only one gold medalist you will find, maybe 13 if it's a team sport. And reflecting Ratko, if I'm driving and I ask my friend what happened, they can say Katinka Hossu won. If the handball team or the water polo team wins, they answer we've won. So the team is we are, the nation. The single athlete has a name. The team is we, together. Hungary or maybe Croatia or maybe Serbia. So importance is absolutely different. We were moving together to the airport in Gwangju after the World Championship to Seoul airport on the same train. And Ratko told me this was a very nice tournament, very good result, gold medal for Italy, but Olympics, it's another story. And that's true.
I will tell you only one thing. I will finish. There is only at Olympic Games that the coaches and all coaches' staff are not treated the same as the players, and are not treated correct. So in each competition, in the World Football Cup, everybody gets the medal, players, coaches, staff. In each World Championships in basketball, handball, everybody gets the medals. In each European, everybody gets the medals. In Olympic Games, only players get the medal, not the coach. So I can tell you, the players in the team sport, they cannot achieve this kind of the result without help of the coach. So the coach absolutely deserve to have the medal, and this is a memory that is during all the life, but it's a long fight to have this kind of the recognition from the Olympic Committee. Olympic Committee is a very conservative organization, and I hope that they will understand the different values in the sport, and then they will recognition also the role of the coaches in the winning the medal.
One thing, I told that I spent six years in your life. We are together. I heard from Gianni De Magistris, from Tamas Farago, from Mshevnadze, from the players who finished with their sports careers before 40 years. I think the lot of things more interesting, more important for the changes for water polo, but nobody hear them. This is, I put that question to Denis and you. Then I told, you are the last time on the bench. Maybe no, but he was the last time on the bench. I think so that the water polo world must hear, what do you think? What is the start position and what is the changes for the future of water polo? Because the things which told me Gianni De Magistris, I was shocked, but nobody hear him. Tamas Farago, what told me, but nobody here. I haven't seen never on television, on the newspapers, what they think. This is the reason why I question tell to Ratko and Denis. I think so that you understand me. Maybe I'm too much with the explanation.
So my opinion, now the games now, and not only this year, last 2-3 years, you see almost 30 major fouls during the game. It means that almost all the game is against zone defense to avoid the exclusion or in extreme situation. So the goals scored 90% shots from outside. And just 10 years ago, we had drives, we had center forward goals, we have maybe one in a game. We had 20-30% of the goals in counterattack, which is beautiful and exciting for the fans. And way of the game, and I understand the coaches, because if the rules are applied this way by the referees, by TWC, PC, thanks, sure. And I think that we should turn back to show the skills, the player skills. The player are able to play a nice game, but the circumstances don't let them do, because the result is the God. The result is more important than anything. So they adapt, and very, very physical, as they told before. Dejan told before, and Ratko, very physical the game, and no skillful players. I think if Tamas Kasic is playing now, he should be one of the players, an average player. He couldn't show his skills, which were excellent and nice to see, and was like a magnetic spot for the spectators, for the fans. And we need back the talents, I told at the beginning, the talents, but we have to protect with the rules and the way of refereeing, application of the rules, to protect the talents, to have again big stars, as Felipe was 5 years ago, let's say in Rio Olympics. No, because now he have to do an average work, because this is the modern water polo, which is not good.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much, because
Okay,
I'm finishing. Tamas Kasic is the example, wonderful. That put in his mind that passion what he had for water polo. I see that today in the world water polo, but not like in a time when you got the gold medals, Olympic gold medals.
Are there any more questions?
Marco, I have a question. So I'm not agree with this kind of the rule that we have now. So and I also had some proposal that nobody accepted. So as usual, but I have to say that I tried this rule. So when I was coaching USA, I tried the rules. So what was the problem? What is the biggest problem with the referee in this game? It's too much whistle. Everybody knows. And when I was analyzing the referee, we found there is about 150 whistle during the game. So, and always whistle, nobody knows what's happened. Whistle, not it's big, and so on. That the whistle, we wrote analyze it to whistle or not to whistle. That is the question. So my proposal was to eliminate completely ordinary foul. Ordinary foul cannot exist because ordinary foul is the best way that the referee helps to one team or to one player or this. So ordinary fouls is only, to break the counterattack, break some organization. So it's more like a tactical foul, but not useful. And so instead of this will be any foul could be the major foul. So it may be the exclusion or not, so we see. So if the number of the major foul will be the penalty, so you will eliminate it whistle, because it's not the question that the whistle the less, but it's a question to protect physically the players. What he said, the very talented players, he must be protected. He can be protected with the very rigorous rules. If it's not rigorous rules, he is not protected. So when I was talking about this, many people understand this my proposal. Nobody tried to do. There is no European, world. Nobody did try to use this proposal. So I stopped proposing. But I still think now that it's the best solution for the water polo. And I am finished.
Okay. I just, if there are no questions, referees and introduction of VAR. So yes, I have to ask something because as a great fan of water polo, it slowed it down. And actually, the way of using it in tennis or football, where dynamics slowing down and action stopped, is good thing sometimes and very often. In water polo, it's not. So actually, we talked a lot about getting worse game, slowing it down, stopping action, which is like in opposite to water polo. Women, this is one thing, and then the other thing, coming from film production, I can say that cameras and screens are not improving for this kind of things. So it's not something helping you. So what can you tell us, and what is your opinion for the future of water polo actually having VAR?
I think this is the most polemic thing now so far, so it's okay, I will start. But I think the beginning of the question, Tatiana, it's like I come back a little bit, like maybe my vision, I said before, it's a little bit different, but anyway. We never discuss about how are the formation of the referees and how are the investment on referees. And I have the feeling that sometimes we are criticizing, but it's like a loop, and it's coming again, it's coming again. And I really think that the VAR is a huge example of that. I don't know how much they were prepared for that. And I don't know what was the quality of the images. But again, to be honest, I think we live in a world now that don't accept that someone punch another one in Olympic Games, and that someone finished the game with blood and everything. And it's difficult for us because I am from old school that was learned that when, we can be honest here, that someone grab your swimsuit, you just hit him. Someone grabs you, punch him. But the sport changes. And I think VAR is part of that. And I think that the big issue was it came to the Olympics, and with not the right cameras, with not the right images, and not with the right investments and preparation, formation of the referees. So, and athletes, we need to do an adaptation very fast because and I think this is the right way, the right path. Because I know that we loved it and we did it, and Obradovic is there, where is him, the special one on this, like we're gonna hit, like if someone hold you, just like, but we need to change it because we cannot have someone punching someone in Olympic Games, and this is happening in all sports, so it's a huge thing for athletes, for coaches, for everyone.
Totally agree. I don't want to spend our time here talking about the VAR. You know, it's a big day of Water Polo Day, but I think VAR can help. We have to use it on the right way, defining the goal, defining a moment of where someone hit someone. But what I understand is the fact that it's incredible that we are at the Olympics and we start the first game and we realize that the analysis of the VAR was very bad. So someone was not prepared to perform at the Olympics. So this is important, and let's spend our time discussing all these nice stories of all the legends here.
This is good to have it as a conclusion also.
They're too much cut the game. Too much cut the game.
So are there any more things that you wanted to tell us and to share with there is a question. Okay.
Do you hear me? Okay, yeah. So the average spectator of the Olympic Games from Athens until Tokyo is almost 4 years older every year. So younger generations are not so hooked up on the Olympic Games anymore. And the other thing is that marginal sports like we are at this point are all fascinated by the Olympic movement, which is great, and me too love it. But the fact is that football, basketball, and non-major sports have their own world championships, which are major competitions for them. So I ask a lot of kids and a lot of young players when they start their careers, would you rather play at a stadium with 100,000 people, with millions of fans watching it, earning millions of euros or dollars, or to win Olympic gold medal? So my question is the same for you five guys.
Okay. Olympic Games, that is okay. Every sportsman wants to go there and just to win. But like Dejan said, that is 4 years of preparation, but that is for the coaches. But for the players or for the sportsmen, that is all life. And after that, to win the Olympic, it is not just satisfying. You know, that is some kind of prize for your life, for your suffer, for everything. And you know, when you are Olympic champion, it is incredible feeling. And it depends where you live. So, like Ratko said, United States, it was Soviet Union. It was they were like a god. I don't know in Russia now how they're walking by the streets. In Hungary, okay, you know. But today, children, they're not watching on the Olympic like generation before. They're watching everything material. Everything is money. That is a problem. Today, the children, they are starting to playing sport, not just for the health or to be a sportsman, just for be a Mbappe or I don't know what the car he is using or driving, you know, the clothes, everything is money. So that is a problem. That is a problem. But after that, amplitude of that comportation is from the house, from the parents. And parents is my generation. And that is a problem. That is the biggest problem. Okay.
Okay, I want to say only that the profile of the Olympic spectators is changed. Now I saw it's not the same faces that were on each Olympic Games, but now the people brings all the family. It was grandfather, a grandmother, and kids and grandkids and all the family. And these new Olympic spectators, for them it's not always important to be on the specific sport. It's important to be on the Olympic competition because they considered the Olympic competition as the process of education of the kids. And so they like to be present in the one competition that is with the referee or not referee, but it's something honest and something, you know, that always somebody is winning because somebody invests a lot of work in this, somebody invests this, and there is a story behind this, and this story, then kids listening, and they becomes the new spectator. So it is change. Spectators, it's a change, and the coming family are very, very present in this kind of competition. And normally, the normal fans of this sport are, but also them with the kids and with if they can find the tickets. But I think in that sense that the Olympic Games, they made a big step forward.
Marco, I think we can divide the sports for Olympic sports and for football, basketball, tennis, where not the Olympic gold medal is the maximum result, but the NBA ring, the Wimbledon victory, or the World Cup in football. But all the other sport people, especially the age group players, the kids, and especially in Hungary, a 10-year-old boy starts to play water polo, maybe was a swimmer and it was boring, so becomes a water polo player. And the first time passes in Margaret Island pool, you can see the marble, the names, and then he decides that my name is there. 10 years later, we'll be there. And all they start with this kind of spirit. And then when they realize that they are talented, the two Vigvari, I was talking with their grandfather a few years ago, and I told him, Paul Schmidt, that I can help them if they are 18 to have a good chance for study in the US and have an American diploma for all the life. It's like an insurance. No, they want to become Olympic gold medalists at 15, age of 15. So if you invest the kids, then you will have the Olympic movement for a long, long time, always important. In Paris, you couldn't move. All the events was always full of people with joy, and they were happy to be there. And I think that after many Olympics, this was for my impression, only a few days I was there. It was excellent and it was beautiful. So I hope and I think that for water polo, for us, will remain the absolute target, the gold Olympic.
Yes, Marco, I think I agree. I agree that the gold medal is the absolute dream. It starts as a dream for a kid of 8, 10 years old, and day by day, this dream transits into a goal. So there is a moment when you say, yeah, I want to win the gold medal. And the power of the gold medal, of a medal, in our situation, a bronze one, not a silver, by the way, a bronze one. It's a dream. It became a gold. And the absolute example of how important the Olympics is that we are here now. We are here in Korcula, people from different country, people with a different opinion about water polo. We are here to celebrate the gold medal of a team from 2012. So yeah, the Olympics and the gold medal is the biggest thing that can happen in our lives, unfortunately.
Yeah, I think just to add, I think Marco, if I could understand what we were talking about, is like there is the Olympic dream, there is the Olympic gold, and this is amazing, but we really need to take care of the sport in other sense too. Like, and this is one thing that I think it's one of the things that we need to talk and Dan, always thank you for that opportunity. But we need to really think on the sport as a business model, and I think this is where we are really back comparing to the other sports. And when I talk about business model, I guess I can see in USA, in Australia, they are doing many things to develop the game as a business. And I think this is one of the biggest issues in water polo. Like, we have the Olympic dream, we love it, this is what drives us, our life. But maybe the new generations, they need a little bit more from our sport, and I think it's the job from everyone to try to give this to them too.
Okay. Thank you, everybody, for the participation. Thank you all for being here. Thank you, Culture Center of Korcula, for receiving us, Lana and her team. You were great. And yeah. Continue with the other events. We're having the match tonight at 8 o'clock, tomorrow at 12, and I think you can ask Dan for the rest of the events. Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you.